Can I ask you a question? Have you ever caught yourself saying, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep putting things off? Why do I keep overthinking? Why do I keep talking myself out of the things I actually want? Why do I pull back just as things start to really go well? Why do I keep ending up in the same place? If you've ever asked yourself one of these questions, then I'd like to offer you a different one. Because after 22 years of helping women understand their subconscious minds, I don't think the question is, why do I keep doing this? I think a better question is, what keeps interrupting my momentum? Because I don't think you're waking up every morning trying to make your life harder. I don't think that about you. I don't think you're trying to procrastinate. I don't think you're trying to overthink. I don't think you're trying to talk yourself out of things that you genuinely want. I think there's a very intelligent part of your mind that's trying to help you. But it's using instructions that may no longer fit the life that you're living. Think about that for a moment. So if that's true, then this is the good news, right? Maybe there's nothing wrong with you. Maybe your subconscious mind is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's trying to protect you. The problem isn't really that your subconscious mind is trying to protect you. The problem is that it may be protecting you from a version of your life that you've actually outgrown. And that's a very, very different conversation than telling yourself that you need more discipline. So just soak that in for a moment. You don't need more discipline. You probably don't need more confidence. You probably don't need more motivation. What if you don't need to become a completely different woman? What if you simply need to understand the instructions that your subconscious mind is still following? Let me share a little nugget from just a month or so ago. I was writing Energized Healer. I've been writing this book for almost 2 years. The idea about it came even further ago than that. And I want to tell you about editing it. Also, I just want to note that if you're going to write a book, don't take 2 years to write the book, because the way that you think about things and the way that you talk about things is going to change, and you're going to have to do a whole lot of editing. And this is where I was. I was right there in the editing, and I knew exactly what needed to be done. The ideas were there, the outline was there, the details were there, the desire was there. And then, there were emails to answer. Maybe I should tidy up my office. Or maybe I should do some research on this other thing that's for somewhere in the future. Maybe I should get some water. And now I probably should have some electrolytes too. I got so much done that morning when I did everything except editing. And I could feel the tingling in my legs as I sat here at my desk. I wanted to get up so badly. I recognized that being in the process of writing was safe. The idea of sharing my book with the world, that was really vulnerable. And that would invite judgment, right? I would be happy if I got the good judgment that said everything was great, right? But there was a part of me that was concerned about getting my book out there in the world because it was so vulnerable. It was unlike anything I've ever done before, unlike anything I've ever shared before. And if I didn't finish it, then I was protected from the judgment. I know. You see how all this can come together, right? This is not about me lacking discipline, because what was I able to do? I was able to recognize my pattern, and I stayed in the seat, and I did things I needed to do. I even had some co-working time with a dear friend so that I would get the editing done. Have you ever had one of those mornings? Have you ever had one of those mornings where you get everything done except the big thing that you wanted to get done? So you wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. So why was I having such a struggle? For years, women have asked me the question, Rebecca, why do I keep doing this? So today, my answer is this. I don't think you're choosing the old pattern. I wasn't choosing that old pattern. I wasn't consciously thinking about being judged about my book. There might have been a part of me that had come into my thoughts here and there over the years. But I wasn't consciously worried about that. I don't think you're trying to stop yourself. I don't think you're choosing the old pattern. I think you're responding to subconscious instructions that once helped you. The subconscious mind has one primary job. I talk about it here all the time, and that is to protect you, to keep you emotionally safe, to keep you safe from pain, to help you avoid pain of any kind, rejection, judgment, abandonment. All those painful things are right there in it. It simply keeps using the instructions that it already has. The subconscious mind will always go back and use the instructions that it already has. Some from outdated stories in your life, outdated experiences in your life. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what time it is. Your subconscious mind thinks that whatever it has in the patterns is what's happening right now. I'll get into that a little bit more another time, but I want to share a couple of examples. Imagine you are trying to expand your business, and somewhere in your life, some instruction came in, some pattern was developed because you witnessed someone else being stressed about money. So you have money coming in. You feel good about this money being here consciously. This is your desire, right? This is what you want. You want the steady income. You want it to show up for you the way that you need it to. And still, when it comes in, something inside of you tightens. Something inside of you thinks, oh, there's going to be stress here. There's going to be more problems because I have more money. Maybe in a relationship, you have witnessed people being hurt. You have witnessed relationships go bad. Maybe you've had your own relationships that have fallen apart or not been the beautiful, healthy relationship that you desired. So you get into a new relationship. Things start going well, and something inside of you tightens. It worries, oh my gosh, what if this turns out like the past? What if I'm in this relationship and I just don't know how it's going to turn out, and relationships have been bad for me in the past, or there was that doozy, or I've witnessed other people, I've had my own parents' relationship not be great. Whatever the story is that you've experienced, those stories become part of your patterns, become part of your subconscious instructions. So you tighten when things are going well. You maybe want to pull away, maybe mess things up. You might call it self-sabotage, but inside, the truth is that this is your subconscious mind operating off of those old instructions, operating off of those old experiences, trying to keep you safe. The subconscious mind, it doesn't know where you are right now. It only knows what you've experienced in the past. So give yourself a breath. And I want to invite you to just recognize, without judgment, just of course with curiosity as always, just recognize sometimes in your life when maybe you've noticed that your subconscious mind might have been trying to stop you, trying to keep you safe. And you thought it was that you needed more willpower, more discipline. that you needed to toughen up. You needed to get your head right. You needed to, whatever it was that you needed to do to just get the thing done or let it happen or whatever was going on. Just acknowledge that for yourself without judgment. And the best part is that when you realize that it's your subconscious mind that's running the show and it's your subconscious mind that's operating from those old instructions, you can forgive yourself for all the times that you just thought, oh, I'm a screw up. I'm a mess up. I can't do this. Success isn't for me. Love isn't for me. Money isn't for me. I can't have the things that I want. That's not for me. Or I'm just not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not whatever, fill in the blank enough. Because none of that's true. It was your subconscious mind running off of old instructions. Can you just kind of feel the weight releasing as you are forgiving yourself for those old stories? All that old blame, all that old doubt that you had in yourself. Most people aren't making the decision that they're making. They're making a decision influenced by a subconscious pattern that they haven't recognized yet. The pattern isn't the problem. Not recognizing the pattern is. So I'm going to invite you to look at this a new way and look at the idea of recognizing the pattern. Because once you recognize the pattern, you have a choice. I know, don't we love choices? And you have awareness that you didn't have 5 minutes ago. You have a choice. Take a breath with that. I want you to think about for a moment what happens right before you pull back. At what point in the journey do you notice that your momentum tends to change? What story starts playing? Because there may be a story that you've been telling yourself over and over and over again. And that's not coming from your conscious mind. That's not coming from your thinking mind. That's an old story that's running in the background, trying to influence your decisions to keep you safe. What suddenly becomes more important than the thing that has been very important to you? And I invite you to become really curious. Become fascinated by yourself. Become fascinated by what's happening in your mind. Not frustrated, fascinated. Because things can really change when you get curious and fascinated by what's happening. I don't want you to leave here today being determined to force yourself through another pattern, okay? I want you to leave here curious, and I want you to leave here with the idea that there is an answer for you, and it's not the old story about why you can't have what you want. I want you to leave curious because curiosity is going to open more doors for you than judgment ever will. So I want to give you your miracle mode moment of the week, okay? This week, I don't want you to ask yourself, why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep doing this thing over and over again? Instead, ask yourself, what pattern might be quietly influencing this decision? What old pattern might be influencing this decision that I'm not even recognizing it as something that's loud or in my face? It's just kind of subtle in the background. And notice when momentum shifts. Notice when excitement becomes hesitation. Notice when the certainty you had becomes doubt. And notice when you suddenly want to do something other than what genuinely matters to you. If you're working on something and all of a sudden you need to do everything else This is a moment to pay attention to. This is a moment to get curious. Then I want you to ask yourself, what am I protecting myself from? This is a very important question because it's not what's wrong with me. It's simply, what am I protecting myself from? If today's conversation has got you thinking, oh my gosh, I've done that so many times. Maybe you've done that once, maybe you've done it many, many times. You can recognize yourself in a few of these examples that I've given. Then I invite you to join me for my free live training. It's called Your Subconscious Mind is Running the Show. And we're going to go deeper into why these patterns happen, how to recognize them when they're happening, and what to do in real time so that they don't quietly, subtly interrupt your momentum for days, weeks, months, or maybe even years. You have that thing that you've been working on for a really long time? Yeah. I'd love to have you join me. The training is live, and you can go to RebeccaIsLive.com to register, and the link will be in the notes as well. All right. So now, maybe the question isn't, why do I keep doing this? Maybe the question is, what instructions is my subconscious mind still following? Because once you understand the instructions, once you understand those patterns and the instructions, you can begin updating them. And when the instructions change, your decisions change, your life begins to change, and it's not because you had to become someone else. You didn't have to become a new woman, but your subconscious mind